On this all-new episode of Nightlife, we hit the ice at CNA to break down the art of skating backwards.
So I think the biggest thing about skating backwards is being comfortable to go from, you got to get as a forward, we always hear the term gap, so you got to go forward and then from a complete standstill, quickly be able to accelerate back.
And we sit down with Ivan Barbashev to talk about his time so far with the VGK.
It's a locker room you just enjoy to coming in every single morning. There's always jokes, chirps. Definitely, I'm lucky enough to be around those guys.
Plus, we take a trip overseas to the hometown of William Karlsson to relive his day with the Stanley Cup.
To share it with all the people here, it's a pretty good feeling. It's going to be a good time, and I'm super excited.
All of that and more this week on Nightlife. Welcome into this all-new episode of Nightlife. Have you ever gone skating and had to hug the boards all the way around the rink? Well, yeah, that's me. I can't even imagine skating backwards, but it's a necessary skill for all NHLers to perfect. They make it look super smooth, but our breakdown crew hit the ice to demonstrate the techniques.
Skating backwards, how much of a skill is that you would practice every day?
It's huge. I think for both of us early in your careers, both of our biggest knack was our foot speed and our skating. So it was everyday. Summers you really hammer it home. During practice as well, you challenge yourself. If normally you're taking off when a guy's at the top of the circles, maybe you wait until he's halfway to the blue line to really push yourself, and it's huge. It's a couple guys are so good at it now. A couple quick crossovers and they're at full speed going backwards. Same as the guys going forward.
I think the biggest thing, and for me it was unique because I was a forward until I was 17 playing junior hockey in Canada, and I had to switch. So I really had to learn to skate backwards at a high level of hockey. It wasn't easy. So I think the biggest thing about skating backwards is being comfortable to go from, you got to get as a forward, we always hear the term gap, so you got to go forward and then from a complete standstill, quickly be able to accelerate back. So that takes a lot of the confidence to get up the ice, to have a good gap, and then rely, as Derek said, once you come to a stop, it's those first two back, those crossovers backwards to gain your speed, gain your momentum. And, for some guys, probably me, Derek, maybe there's more than one or two crossovers. Like Shea Theodore can go up and float on the ice. There's a lot of those guys that are so good. Cale Makar, you look at the best, Quinn Hughes. Their mobility, their edge work is just tremendous. Other guys are different. They'll rely on different systems to do it. But the main thing about backwards skating is you got to have the confidence to get up, and you're starting pretty much from a standstill. You're not just coasting backwards, because you're usually going up with a play, and all of a sudden it's a dead stop. Now you got to get to as fast as you can, full momentum backwards. So it's those first kind of few crossovers, and then as you said, C-cuts. And then it's the edge work, being able to open up. You're crossing over and you're going backwards now, forward will read that. As soon as you cross this way, which way is he? Like Connor McDavid's gone. He might even make you try and cross over backwards and go 2-3 times.
I think everyone brings up Peter Forsberg. He looked at your feet and waited and waited and waited. As soon as that crossover, he's the other way. I think as a D-man, sometimes you see a lot of speed, you're backing off, and it's making your job harder. If you're up, it's harder for the forward to get up to full speed quicker.
Speed, how fast can you skate backwards compared to your top speed forward? What would that ratio be? 80% to...
Probably pretty close to the same.
I would say it's pretty close to the same, yeah.
For me.
Yeah, you have to have the ability to move
shocking to a lot of people. That you can skate backwards as fast as people can skate forward.
Well, when you're doing it every day and you're playing, right? And certainly you gain, it's just like forward. When a forward, you see those first crossovers, the lateral stride to get speed up and then go. It's the same thing backwards. You're crossing over and that gains your speed, and then instead of the forward stride, it's those back. That's what you'd compare a C-cut. That's your kind of, instead of the forward stride, the C-cut is where you gain your power backwards.
Where do you get your power in skating backwards?
For me, it was the first couple crossovers, and then like Shane said, you get into the C-cuts, and that's maintaining speed. Another thing is you want to go up, like Shane was saying, close the gap, but then you don't want to see our crossover going way out and back. You want to almost stop and go straight back.
Time for our first break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, class is back in session.
That's why when you're getting up the ice, stop. Your first stride's back. There's the 2, and now you're here.
Still got it, I think.
You look good.
Keep it locked right here on Nightlife. Welcome back to Nightlife. Class is back in session. We return to the ice at CNA.
All right, when you're skating backwards, and I'm a right-handed guy, so I'm coming up the left side of the ice. When you come up and pivot, you want to pivot back so you're taking away the middle, you're not giving the middle. So as a right-handed player, believe it or not, this is more awkward for me to turn and stop this way. And it will be for Derek too, because you're right-handed. I'm used to this side, so when I stop, this is me immediately, and I'm cutting to the middle. It's those first 2 back. On this side, it's opposite. If I'm a left-handed shot, now I'm coming this way. If I come up and I do this,
I'm going right here.
My first stride is to the outside. So you'll hear it a lot, between the dots. D, play between the dots, you and your partner. You don't want to give away the middle ice. It's a lot easier if you get beat, whatever, keep them to the outside. So that's why when you're getting up the ice, stop. Your first stride's back, there's the 2, and now you're here.
Still got it, I think.
You look good.
So that's it. For a left D, it'd be coming in here. He's cutting back here, right? Which is more natural. And then Derek talked about the power. It's off here. You're 1, 2, go.
What if you don't have time to cross over? How do you?
Then
you can't.
Tight turn and skate forward back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to?
A lot of guys will. Like if the puck's on the opposite side of the ice, a lot of teams now are, they got their high far side. So I'm skating forward with their other forward coming across, but you're already got your gap here, taking that guy away.
And that speaks to the angling from a defensive perspective, as you mentioned. If the puck's coming up the far side, that's changing the game, and they practice that now. I've seen John Stevens work with the defensive, the partner. If it's coming up his partner's side, he's already backwards to take and gap up to go forward first, as Derek just showed. And that's angling again. That's coming in on the right angle, and then the pivot to back.
Who's the best backward skater you ever played with?
Theodore does it pretty. TJ Brody, Chris Letang. I think every team has a good.
I played with Scott Niedermeyer.
Oh yeah, there's a good one.
He pretty much floated. It was like effortless. You didn't even hear him skate. It was like it's ridiculous. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. He was impressive.
So are you really digging in?
I am.
Yeah.
Well, that first one is, but you can see like Shea is, you always hear the term lighter on their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the good skaters are. Like Shea is probably lighter. And, other guys are heavier to do that. Like, Petro's a good skater, McNabb, all those guys, you'll probably hear them cut into the ice a little bit more. And it's stopped because you're trying to get up the ice. You have to go sometimes from full forwards. Now I'm back, right? And then it's pivot. From there, it's just your edge work when you're coming back. And I said, when a guy's going wide, you almost want to be able to open up. Trouble with young kids now is they'll do that. And we talked about you're going back. Now you want to try and cross over. And that sometimes allows there. Whereas here, if you go this way, you can go back easily. So when you're in that mode, it's easier to shift.
Is the weight on your skates the same skating forward and backwards? Like in the same area of your foot?
You're still on the ball of your feet.
So both ways, right?
Same, yeah.
I would say.
Even though you're going different direction?
You're pushing, I'd say backwards, you're using more of the full blade than you are going forward.
Yeah, you're still getting your power from
the toes, though. Everything's coming on your toes. Your weight is on your front when you're going back, like, and then you're pushing. But as you're going here, now it's more flat than it would be if you're going forward. You're still more on your toes.
If the player's maybe even with you threatening to go by you, do you just turn around and slash them?
You can't anymore. It's gentle.
Time for another break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, Ashley Weiss sits down with Ivan Barbashev to talk about his time with the VGK.
What really helped me, I think that we got really far last year and we won a cup. That gets the team really close, and our team looks like the same. So we're definitely looking for another cup.
Don't go anywhere. Nightlife on Scripps Sports will be right back. Welcome back to Nightlife.
Knights, beautiful outlet pass to Barbashev, who moves in, up from behind, score! What a pass, what a finish! All the way around, check to Atkinson, out in front, what a great save! Score! Barbashev at the top line, strikes early for Vegas. Petrangelo with a shot, save man, rebound, score! Ivan Barbashev on the rebound! Michael has help in front, and Barbashev scores! Ivan Barbashev from Jack Eichel.
Since joining the Knights last season, Ivan Barbashev has been a force on the ice, and he's here to stay. The VGK locked him up to a 5-year, $25 million contract back in June. Ashley sat down with Barbie to talk about his NHL career so far.
Well, Ivan, this week it's a home-and-home series with your former team, so we thought it'd be a good time to check in with you and see how you're doing. How are things?
Good, really good.
How is it different being back in this building this time around than last year when you were here shortly after the trade to Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's slightly different, to be honest, especially when you get traded last year and you're coming back here maybe 10 days after the trade. So it was definitely, a nerve-wracking for me, to be honest, just in such a short time to play against your, old teammates, and that was definitely weird, but I think we played a couple days ago against them, so I think it should be fine for now.
So your first NHL game wasn't in this building, but it was as a member of the St. Louis Blues. What do you remember about your first NHL game?
Just remember that it was a really special moment for me and for my family.
What about your first NHL goal?
Oh, I think it took me like 6 or 7 games, and it was still like on a road trip in Ottawa.
Barbashev in front, he scores! His first NHL goal, Barbashev!
Just a good memory. This is something I've been working for a long time, and it was just nice to get it out of the way.
Do you think that version of you would believe that you would be a 2-time Stanley Cup champion?
You dream about it as a kid, and especially you grow up, you watch the games, and I wouldn't say I was, seeing myself as a 2-time champion, but one for sure. But the 2-time made it a lot better.
Well, someone who was around for everything we've talked about so far, your first NHL game, your first NHL goal, your first and second Stanley Cup championships, is Alex Petrangelo. What's it been like having that relationship with him grow over the years?
No, it's actually great. To be honest, I didn't expect it. I wasn't expected to get traded to Vegas, but I think Petrov has done some really good inside job for Kelly and George, But it's nice to be with him on the same team, and to win the second cup together with him was really special as well.
What did he tell you about Vegas when the trade initially happened?
He always said that me and my family are gonna love it there. It's a great city and a great team, and that's what I was, to be honest, expecting after the trade. I knew that they were doing really good, and the end story was even more positive.
How would you describe this locker room now that you're fully ingrained in it?
It's great. It's a locker room you just enjoy to coming in every single morning. There's always jokes, chirps, just a great group of guys. So definitely, I'm lucky enough to be around those guys.
You're pretty shy, but you're throwing the chirps around in the locker room too, aren't you?
No, not really.
No?
Sometimes, but not too much. So.
Tell us about the teammates. Who's the best and worst chirper?
Best and worst. I'll probably say the best one is probably Marchi. He's one of those guys that likes to get into it. But the worst one, I'll probably say Paul Cotter.
Okay.
Yep.
Paul's an easy target, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an easy target.
Easy? So even you aren't afraid to throw some Paul's way, huh?
Yep.
All right, that's how you get in there. How do you assess where the team is at so far?
It took us a while to get through, but I think right now we're kind of getting back to our game that we would like to play, and I think it's only going to get better.
What are you most looking forward to in your future in Vegas and as a Vegas Golden Knight?
I mean, I would like to see another 2 cups, to be honest. You know, as more as possible, because after you win 1 cup, you do want to win another one. So, and you know, I went through it once in St. Louis, and you know, I'm glad I won another one in Vegas. So that's all. You know, as my professional career, this is something I want to keep doing, and I think, you know, it's going in the right direction.
Sounds like a good plan, Ivan.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Time for one final break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we head overseas to Sweden to relive Wild Bill's day with the Stanley Cup. Keep it live, right here on Nightlife. Welcome back to Nightlife.
Karlsson, he's feeling confident, so important. Karlsson, a wrist shot, score! Oh, William Karlsson finds a hole on Hart and snaps it home.
Puck comes back out. Karlsson with a shot, scores!
Stone fights Karlsson all by himself. Korzak, long shot, score! It's William Karlsson on the deflection. Karlsson with a chance, score! On the pass from Dorofeev, pointed 8 straight. Karlsson in front, scored! What a pass!
Karlsson absolutely roasts this one.
Karlsson looking, shot, score! William Karlsson to the far corner, his 11th of the season.
Perhaps one of the most consistent players on the ice so far this season for the VGK has been William Karlsson. Wild Bill has tallied 12 goals so far this season, leading the way for the VGK. Number 71 is one of the last few remaining original misfits on the Golden Knights, and of course, played an instrumental role in leading the team to its first ever Stanley Cup championship. Over the summer, the Cup made its way to Sweden to hang with Will and his family.
I'm William Karlsson, and this is my Stanley Cup story.
Now it comes to Karlsson, and he scores again! William Karlsson!
Tap back, score, Karlsson! The Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup in 2023.
I picked up the guys, the Cup keepers, from the airport in the morning. Got a quick little visit to my parents' house, or took some photos and whatnot, and then we headed down to the local rink where I grew up. It's in the town called Märsta, where I grew up and where I played all the way to high school.
Ska jag ställa den på bordet? Det känns ganska coolt. Ja, så att ska njuta varje sekund nu då.
Super day today. We are 20 kilometers north of Stockholm in a place called Märsta. This is an old traditional hockey club, and we are celebrating that William has brought the Stanley Cup back to this area. Everybody's surprised that it's so much people coming here, both from the youth teams but also from the area, and people are traveling from 6-7 hours with car just to have a glimpse of the cup. Very inspirational for the parents and for the kids.
We had it there for a few hours. And anyone could show up and take pictures with it, so that was very cool. Härligt! I mean, always stepping into that rink, it brings back memories, and there's a lot of old familiar faces, you know, at the rink. Saw my old coach there, so it was a good morning, and I'm very happy that you know, so many people showed up.
This arena is feeling a lot of proud that they produced a player like that, so it means a lot to the community, and William is also very, very humble. He supports the youth hockey here with equipments and stuff like this, so this is big for this area.
I think they thought it was very, very cool, and because I know if I was the kid, I would think it's the coolest experience ever. So to be able to you know, bring it home and show it for everyone was very cool, and I'm happy I did that. And then I just took it to my house. Friends and family came over and we had a big party.
Right now it's called Värmdö. It's east of Stockholm. We were up north before. Just kind of bought this place out here by the water, and just calm and peaceful here. And I had Lord Stanley visiting, so I might as well throw a party. Well, it's nice to get, to be reminded again of the win, to see the cup again, and to share it with all the people here. It's a pretty good feeling.
What was your parents' reaction when they saw it for the first time?
I think they were a bit amazed. Maybe they try to keep it a little cool, but I think they were all jittery out inside.
And what about the dance with your mom to Dancing Queen?
Yeah, special moment. That also, that was, looking back at it, it was a very nice moment. I love my mom, so share a dance with her around midnight there to Dancing Queen was just perfect.
That's all the time for this week, Knights fans. Make sure to tune in next week for a special episode about the Dad's Trip. We'll see you next time, right here on Scripps Sports.